You know what? I've had many years where I've tried to just humble all of my celebrations, but and have still lost in the championship and stuff. So, you know what? I like the keeper announcements. I'll still do it, but I don't know. It's coming back to bite me, man.
What's up, folks? It's the Any Given Sunday podcast, 2025 fantasy football season. This is week 2. I'm Rebel Scum, your boy, on here with the pod squad tonight. We're going to get into the week 2 games, but first, throw it over to the commissioner, say what's up, see the little tadpoles in there. What's cracking?
Tadpoles here. It's been a big week in the Frog household. I want to shout out my son, LJ, for making the American Martyrs golf team.
Yay, good job, dude.
He's been training for the past 5 years. Thanks to NJC, man. You introduced us to his coach, LB, over at Chester Washington Golf Course. 5 years in the making, man. Training for golf. It's rare that an elementary school has a team, but 5th grade was the chance he got to try out his first cut sport. He made the team, and he also was drafted to the Beach City Sports Flag Football 11 under Cincinnati Bengals. So it's going to be a busy fall for LJ.
Nice, man.
I also got Adi here, cross country, LA Jets. She's running the 4K now. She PR'd this weekend at Central Park in Santa Clarita. So shout out Adi for her accomplishments this week.
Good job, Adi.
All right. Little Cooper kids, well done.
Yeah.
That is exciting stuff. And you're looking so grown. What in the hell? Man, great job, kids. That's excellent. And the Frogs got the win.
As for the game, I had to take the Penthouse Pimps out like a and rest in peace to them. Go Wolverines.
Wow. Oh my God.
Wow.
That
was explosive.
Damn.
Hey, I like to stay on topic with current events.
Yeah,
You
that was
sure as
explosive,
hell.
like Lou's weekend in San Diego in the bathroom.
That's how we roll into it with the dad jokes. Well done, NJC. I'm gonna save the champ for last. Quan, what's cracking with you this week?
You know what? The morale of the Quan is going to be rough tonight, fellas. This is the most devastating thing that's happened to me in my AGS career. I've never had a player pretty much go out like a pinnacle player, a key player go out like this. But it's rough, man. Yeah, we did.
What are you talking about, Quan? Our listeners have no idea what you're talking about.
Joe Burrow going down with the turf toe is devastating, man. This is the first time, like I really felt like this year I always have this team, this dynasty, this particular team's run has always been strong at receiver and running back. So every year I've targeted a quarterback and a tight end to balance my team out. And this is a year I felt like I really had the two pieces that just really no team could compete with. Week 1, the tight end goes down. The two pieces that I don't have backups for. People usually don't add backups for their tight end and quarterback. But week 1, my tight end goes down. And he's on PUP for half the season. And week 2, my quarterback goes down. So still got the high score. Still, team is still strong. But it's going to be interesting, man. I think it's going to be rough, man.
Hi, Lou.
Oh,
Why don't you respond to your text messages, Lou?
Doug, dude, just quit with the Jordan Love stuff, man, please.
Okay.
Slow down.
You got to show respect on your trade offers, man. I mean, you're not talking to Oops and Rudy and Bussy here.
Yeah, all right.
Why disrespect us?
I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just giving room for negotiation.
Oh, the text I got has a lot of room for negotiation.
Hey, well, count me back.
Rounds of room. I don't want to counter out. You approached me. I have no interest in that.
We got time. I'm gonna make some moves. We'll see. We'll see. But nothing can replace, Joe Burrow. Nothing can replace. There's only a few quarterbacks in this league that can put up in any given game can put up numbers like that. So
I feel like the term turf toe really minimizes the damage. Like even we were sitting here, Quan and Pimps were over here. We're having a mini viewing party, and he heard turf toe. He was like, all right, a couple weeks. I think Brock Purdy, they also said turf toe, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 weeks.
You're talking about the whole season.
Yeah, man, 3 months. I think turf toe is a lot more painful of an injury than it sounds like. The other thing
absolutely.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was gonna say it's one of those things, and you either get surgery for it and you sit it out, or you try to play it through. It's not an injury that will just kind of heal on its own.
It's definitely a lingering injury.
Yeah, it must be painful. So I can only imagine, man. I my foot hurts sometimes when I run. I can't imagine whatever pulls on that toe. The other thing, it's funny, and maybe you could provide some insight to the podcast and any listeners we might have, but we could run the tape back, Lou, and you were adamant last week that Colston Loveland would be your quarterback moving forward. I think we all took that with a tight end moving forward. I think we all took that with a grain of salt, but you did say, I'm rolling with Colston. He's going to be my tight end until Kittle gets back. And I think you proceeded to add like 3 tight ends on waivers.
Almost immediately, like as soon as we were done recording, he was like, let me get on this tight end thing. There is a lot of woe is me going on for Quan, who put up the high score of the week, as we mentioned, 143, well-balanced attack. We'll get into that as we break down the games, but let's introduce the defending champ real quick, and then we'll roll into the games. And JC, how you doing this week?
Grateful to be 2-0, looks like. I mean, we still have another half of football left, but bar any crazy things happening, it looks like we may be 2-0 this week. Definitely a good opponent in Oops. I mean, he left some meat on the bone on the bench. Oh Jesus! And they're in the red zone right now, so we'll definitely hear about some of this in the top 3. But yeah.
Let's actually pause for a second, because you are a historically superstitious person, and you hit us with the text earlier about recording during the game, and we're like, games are wrapped, but 10 minutes left in the third.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. I mean,
I'm not gonna say it's a wrap, because
this could be a tremendous live podcast right
here. Dude, he's in the red
thing.
zone. He's in the red zone right now. Oh, it's 4th and 2. So hopefully, I don't know. I can't tell what they're doing. I don't know if they're gonna hopefully they bring special teams out, the field goal team.
He'd be in a better spot if Quentin Johnson wasn't on his bench, but
or
week
Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Right. Week 1 of NFL does this to us. They do the double Monday night header, and we can't record this podcast at 10 p.m. So
no, it's all good. That's why I'm not going to count the chickens before they hatch. But I told y'all last week, man, like Oops had, Quan 2.0 has a pretty strong team, man, and he gets that roster right, it's going to be deadly. So.
I feel like, to your point, Quan 2.0, like Quan helps him build the roster, but maybe not the day of who to start, who to sit. So
that's probably where he says he leaves him on his own. But like I said, I think everybody in the podcast agrees you want to stack as many wins as you can. I mean, kudos to you, Nick. Looks like you got a freaking crazy win this week. You want to stack as many wins as you can, because there's always you want to buffer. Like Lou, I'm sure you want to stack as many as you can, for as long as you can, because we don't know what the later part of the season looks like. All of us are in that same boat. So, happy to still be relevant, but, you still got to plan week to week.
There may be something to that curse about watching the games in person. Quan, Pimp's come over. Pimp's got a sizable loss to the Frogs, and Quan lost his quarterback. So I don't think they'll be watching football games in my living room.
I told you on Saturday, you're a succubus, bro. You suck energy. I'm not. Nope. Don't hang out with Lennon on Sundays. I love you, Coop. Known you for 30 years. Love the fam. Love the kids. I like to stay in my house on Sundays.
Hey, since your game is still kind of being worked out here, let's go ahead and roll into the ones that have been completed. And you brought up my game here. I almost doubled my score from last week, and I only changed my kicker out. And I don't know what to make of all of this, but I like the way some things are trending. I don't like the way Jaden Daniels' knee is trending. Perhaps get a little bit of rest, work that thing out. But this kind of week for me makes me lament those poor draft day decisions even more. The running backs I didn't keep. The receivers I thought would be available a little bit later, because you don't know how often these guys will be able to put up these kind of numbers, but you never know. That's why we play this game and go week to week with it. So I got a big win against a team that I'm historically terrible against. I looked at our record, and it's not even close. So it's nice to beat the counselor. And you don't want to be an 0-2 team for sure. I had the pressure of going up against like Vussy last year for 0-2. I think Vussy got his first win on me. I didn't get my first win until maybe 4 weeks in. So nice to do that, and I'm excited about the week-to-week magic that can occur.
Well, look what happens to T. Ruth when Derrick Henry doesn't play well. He only had 2 points, and his total score output this week was 72 points. I have some notes for you, Scum, in regards to somebody you did draft. Cam Scatabo is looking like the new RB1 for the New York Giants. In the second half of what was arguably the game of the week, 2 weeks in a row, we got Bills, Ravens, and then Cowboys, Giants was a great game. But Scatabo outsnapped Tyrone Tracy 19 to 11 snaps, 100% of those snaps coming on early downs and short yardage situations. Some were calling him the Mayo Beast Mode yesterday. So,
dang, that's fire right there. Mayo Beast Mode. What are the chances? That'll help me feel a little bit better about drafting Caleb Johnson #1 than watching that guy fumble into the end zone and realizing he'll probably never touch a football for the rest of the season.
Well, you also, Scatabo taking over #1, and now Aaron Jones is out. I think that's NJC's. Aaron Jones is out, and Mason, as you predicted, is going to be the starting running back. But just as we gave you some good news, we're going to bring it back to the Bo Nix Butterfly Effect update. Bo Nix this week outscored Michael Penix by 22 points.
Yeah, he had a great game. Good job. We knew that wasn't going to last, right? Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
man, the Raiders.
I think Jalen Warren is the #1
goal line. Stop.
I think
Sorry.
#1 in Pittsburgh, and Javonte Williams, another 20-point week.
That's what I'm talking about right there, Quan, when I say draft day remorse and I look at this roster and I say, damn, keeping one of those two guys would have absolutely changed the complexion of this thing. So be it. It was a terrible decision. Once again, not living it down week to week. Every week until the season's over. God dang it. All right. Let's move on to the Frogs. Let's talk about you, Frogs. You had another big week. Your scoring output's pretty high here. Got to be feeling pretty good about that. Even after I know you were worried about Justin Fields. He was looking real bad, and then he took himself out of the game. He was like, I'm concussed. I don't want to play. I don't want to play anymore. But it didn't matter, man.
Legit concussion, man. If you were here as Quan was, I was not a happy camper watching Justin Fields. I rolled the dice. But I think, and Quan may speak about this during his game, going in, I don't think I felt as confident as Quan did, but it ended up being a game where you can't experiment with your roster a little bit, to still score 139 points with only getting 3 points out of my quarterback spot. It's a week where you can do that. Really fun to watch that Giants game. Every time Russell Wilson threw a moon ball, I was yelling Malik's name, and half the time it was hitting for big points. 13 targets for Malik, 9 catches, 167 yards, 2 tutties, 35.5 fantasy points, tying Amon-Ra St. Brown for, I think, most receiving points from a receiver this week. And, I think if that usage continues, man, he's in contention for fantasy 101 overall. Another player on my team, and I think he benefited from injury. When Jaden Reed went out, that kind of benefited Tucker Kraft's target value. He's creeping into set it and forget it status. And, I haven't started him yet. I started Tyler Warren, but I might need to give him a shot. So much so that I'm starting to get some interest in trades from certain teams. So good week overall for the Frogs. Looking forward to having Patrick Mahomes back in the starting lineup next week.
Hey, I heard you screaming with that little bomb that neighbors caught in the end zone at the end of the Cowboys game. I heard you from over my house.
Yeah, man, that was nice. Man, he had both touchdowns were incredible catches, man.
Yeah, man.
It's good
Russell
to see
Wilson,
it.
455 yards. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I think they're saying I got to double check, but Russell Wilson might be number one fantasy quarterback, and Neighbors number one wide receiver right now. Just insane numbers this week.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. Now, last week on the podcast, we did our look forwards, our predictions forward, and you, Frogs, thought that Pimps kind of hit an aberration in week 1 with his low scoring output. But we got a second week here. It's not looking too great. This might be more of the median. However, his rookie receiver on the bench did put up 29.5 points, had a massive game there. Wouldn't have helped him this week. But what are we seeing trending out of this roster right here? I don't know. I thought it looked a little bit better, but maybe it's just early season, low output.
Yeah, he was he waved the flag pretty early. I think when the Patriots got their defensive touchdown, he realized it was going to be a long day, and I think he's regretting decisions, man. It happens quick in the Dynasty League. If you make some mistakes at the draft, it's going to impact you throughout the season. And, you have 2 weeks like this with low output, and you see other teams putting up big numbers. The writing's on the wall for the season, man. But I do want to shout out Pimps for coming over, man. And on a positive side, he enjoyed brunch, man, eggs, multiple types of sausage, and waffles prepared by my wife. And you mentioned the Doomsday, man.
Some of that jerk sausage of the whole weekend.
Yeah, the third frog leg. Roma Dunze, new wide receiver 1 in Chicago, looks like, man. Thank you to the Pimps for keeping him on the bench. But for 2 straight weeks, he's run more routes and guarded more targets than DJ Moore. So, that's a contract for him that has a bright future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done there. Again, nice win, Froggy. Let's roll it over to the ambassadors over here. You were lamenting the loss, Joe Burrow, turf toe, but still a big week for you, man. Still got to be proud of what your team put out there.
Yeah, even though we lost Joe Burrow, we still were, put up big numbers. I'm Ross St. Brown, man. He had 3 touchdowns. The Detroit Lions just really put on a clinic on the Chicago.
Overcorrection, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I felt like Dan Campbell was had something to prove against his former coach, and he did not let up. They ran up the score all day. Amon-Ra and Goff just kind of looked like, man, they're just, when they're in the red zone together, they're just fully, it's almost like they can run those plays with their eyes closed in terms of him hitting him on those outs to score a touchdown. But it looked good. It was a great bounce back for Amon-Ra. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott look like they're still kind of, they're still kind of struggling together, man. CeeDee's not getting those big Malik Neighbor plays, but that will come soon. I went a little bit outside the box this week because I was playing against Joe, who's his team is just it's a work in progress, and Jonathan Taylor was playing against Denver last year. He had some of his lowest numbers against Denver. Denver has basically stalled every single running back they've played for the last 2 years, and I was like, you know what, Javonte Williams is playing against a weak defense. I'll just go ahead and throw him in there. Give him a start. And of course, this game was at 10, and Javonte Williams has a hell of a game, man. He's jumping over defenders like he did his rookie season. He's beasting people. He got what they said he couldn't do was break off a big run. And he busted for like 40 yards, 50-yard run to TD, and even shows so much speed, he's slowing up at the end zone. And so I was like, all right, great decision. And then the 1 o'clock game comes, and Jonathan Taylor puts up probably the most points he's put up in a long time against the toughest defense, which is looking like he's going to have another one of those years like his first. This is probably the best offense he's been in for a long time. So looking forward to what Jonathan Taylor has to offer. BTJ is and it's bringing back now. It's starting to come to fruition that maybe Trevor Lawrence is not the best quarterback for BTJ. We've
been saying this for years, bro. I've been telling you Trevor Lawrence was ass when you used to like him.
Yeah, he blew up last year with Mac Jones, and I don't know. They're just not in sync, but he's still a super uber talented receiver. I'm sure that they'll start dialing up plays for him, but yeah, dude. That saying, always start your studs, which I normally live by. If I was playing anybody else, I probably would have started Jonathan Taylor just, off jump. But I felt like I could play with my roster against Joe. But always start your studs, So, but anyway, great week, high score. I think that the loss of Joe Burrow, this really, really, really just is a dagger to the morale of my team. I know there's teams that wish they had the talent like I have, but this was pretty much this was like kind of the last year that all those guys are really going to be together. So to have, my star player who I believe makes a huge difference to go down pretty much probably for the season, it's tough, man.
Quan, you mentioned Joe Burrow being injured this week. You mentioned George Kittle injured last week. You spoke of maybe a little bit of karma coming back for the very prominent keeper announcements that you made and the way you did it. So is that something you might not do next year?
You know what? I've had many years where I've tried to just humble all of my celebrations, but and have still lost in the championship and stuff. So, you know what? I like the keeper announcements. I'll still do it, but I don't know. It's coming back to bite me, man. I've never had a keeper go down, and I've never kept a quarterback. But it's going to be interesting. This is going to be. I'm gonna have to really dig deep to continue.
Wow. You could probably pick up Daniel Jones. Is Daniel Jones still available? That guy is
Danny
the best O-line. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you got to dig deep. I really appreciate you really hitting these chords here right now. You always pepper your responses and your thoughts with little humble brags in there, talking about how other teams wish they had the talent your team had. And really, I feel like you're overselling this. It is sad that Joe Burrow got hurt, and it hurts more because you kept him. And it's like, fuck, I could have kept this other motherfucker. I get it. But come on, Quan. 143, the guy put up 9 points. You can find another quarterback put up 15 points. And then you got your 3 running backs in there, one of which I wish was mine again. And there you go. There it is.
Yeah, but Nick, I'm trying to win a championship here. And that if a healthy squad with my guys, I feel like it'll be tough to beat my team on any week, just because even if some star players don't perform, somebody else is. And Joe, like if Jonathan Taylor puts up a dud, CeeDee Lamb puts up a dud, that's going to be the week that Joe Burrow puts up 50. We balance that out, but I don't have that anymore. So it's going to be I'm going to definitely lose some games, so we'll see, man.
Well, you didn't lose this week, Quan. You actually scored the most points in the league, barring anything crazy happening in tonight's game. But 143 points. For those listening, we award a $30 cash payout for high score each week. So Quan locked in $30 this week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
good job, brother.
Quan. Well done.
I just
well
want to
done. That
lock in a
means
W. I don't.
That means. Exactly. Congratulations to all of us for that. But that means, Quan, you're gonna get the special little shout out there, man. Maybe I'll put a little goat in there, you know.
Thanks.
Well, it's funny. You mentioned Quan hitting the market, and there's quarterbacks. You know, his Rams quarterback, Matthew Stafford, I think, is also available. But his opponent was one who we questioned about his choices at quarterback at the draft going into the season, keeping Anthony Richardson, starting Cam Ward last week with 2 points. So I think that waivers ran well before the podcast came out, but it was heavy on his mind. He used the number. He was the first person on waivers to pick somebody up. He picked up Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers came back down to earth this week and only scored 1 more point than Cam Ward did in 12 points. It's gonna be a long season for the Wilmoth.
I didn't know he burned a waiver on Aaron Rodgers. That's fucking crazy.
I'm having a feeling that this is going to be a karmic season for Awumi for honey phallicking Quan before the season with that little dupe.
I know.
Well, this week was nice payback for that dude.
Once again, Zay Flowers outscores Metcalf 2 weeks in a row now.
Hey, Zay Flowers almost outscored Aaron Rodgers.
It's gonna be an interesting season, boys. Like I can looking at this week, just teams that are doing things they've never done and guarantees you aren't getting guaranteed. It's gonna be an interesting season.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's talk about some more interesting games over here. I want to talk about NJC. I think yours is. Can we talk about yours? I mean, I think that's pretty much a wrap, right?
I mean, 40 points in 1 quarter is a lot.
Yeah, typically with a quarter of football left and you have 99% chance of winning, you're usually going to pull that off. So yeah, I think it's safe.
All right, we'll talk about it. So I don't want to.
When you have a 99% chance of winning with 8 minutes left, generally it comes out as a win.
I mean, crazier things have happened.
I mean, I'm not going to give too much because some of my decisions may have landed on the top 3 this week. So I'm not going to give it away too much, but I'm very disappointed in myself for the choices I've made in waiver wiring. That's all I'll say on that. But Lamar Jackson, dude, it was worth the first and the second. I'll tell you that, because to turn 35 points off of that terrible game, I mean, it definitely is what was some of what saved my week. I'm hoping
can we talk about that just for a second, man? You brought it up. You said it was worth the 1 and 2. I think it's a rare trade where we both continue to feel really good about it. Because I would do it again too. I would do it. The Lamar Jackson turned into Malik Neighbors and Tyler Warren, both on contracts, and I think it changed my franchise for the better. So I think we're both happy with it, man. So no limits in that trade.
I will say that it's good to have
championships out of it.
It's good to have a positive reputation when it comes to trading. I will say that I appreciate it. I think that the trade benefits me in the short term and you in the long term. So yeah, it's a win. But again, the long term is really what matters, overall. So I'm happy that the choices you made are paying dividends. And yeah, man, I love Lamar Jackson, dude. He's it's hard to not like him, and to have him on your team, and every time he gets the ball, he's going to get you some points. I love it. I appreciate that. So let's just go down the list real quick. I'm going to start where I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned, the Burrow injury affects Chase Brown as well, man. It's not just a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins thing. I will say that, to have 2 receivers on a team that has lost their quarterback is going to be rough going forward.
For Joe.
Yep. But also now they're going to stack the box. I mean, the good news is that what's his name? Not
Browning.
Browning, I mean, he put up 3 tubbies. He also put up 3 interceptions, but he put up enough production that may ease the run game going forward as the weeks unfold. So hopefully Chase Brown, continues to get some burn. The good news, he's not competing for carries. So once those carries start to happen, it will be him. So we'll see. Drake London, I just think this is part 2 of the injury, hopefully, and just game script. I mean, they ran the ball 40 times. All of that through by way of freaking Bajan. So good for you, Coop. I mean, even Algier put up a tubby. So hopefully the offensive coordinator decides to get the passing game involved. I did tell you, Nick, that the Pitts pick was a sneaky good pick. I mean, you see he did eat this weekend, and I do think that much like a couple seasons ago, the gap between the 1 or 2 elite tight ends and then other serviceable tight ends is widened. So to have somebody to at least put up what Pitts put up on the bench is decent. JSN, bro, like week 2 of my best, hands down the best pick of my draft. The dude is putting up consistent 15 points and hasn't had a touchdown yet. So I love the fact that he's a target monster. I love the fact that Darnold is treating him like JJ 2.0 and Cooper Kupp has a resurgence. Is that a butterfly effect? Cooper Kupp has a resurgence of arguably, I've read an article that says he's making an argument of a 1B. Both receivers in double digits. So Sam Darnold is a good thing in Seattle. So I'm happy with that. And then the looming hole, which, I'm really upset about, is my tight end position, but I can't say I haven't found myself in this position before. Slim pickings on the waiver, and everybody's clinching what they have. So hopefully we can figure out the flex and take together some wins until something falls to me, or I don't know, somebody decides to develop. So we'll see.
Were you putting trade? Sorry about that, Frog. Were you putting trade offers out there for tight ends, NJC? I heard Frog mention.
I'm putting trade offers out right now on the fucking podcast. So remember, I'm always working. So yes, I did hit Lennon up for Tucker Kraft. And yes, I lowballed Lennon because I'm not about to give up a first-round pick for a tight end.
It's tough too, knowing that like that guy. When did you take him, Lennon? Like 4th, 5th round, somewhere down there, right?
Yeah, pretty late. I'd have to check the draft board.
I offered him when he drafted him, Matt. He said no. He laughed at me. He scoffed.
Yeah, right. Of course, because he's putting up like 25 points a week, and we watched him go by 5 times. Is my point. So it's tough.
I mean, he's only ranked as the number 1 tight end in fantasy football right now, and you offered me nothing. I mean, you would think you'd at least given me a respectful offer if you want.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. Hey, a 5th round pick is magical in our league. I figured that it would be magic for me.
I got him in the 6th round.
See, it's an upgraded offer. You can't even say I love it. Like I gave you.
Oh no, you know what's upgraded is my tight end room, man. So I'm gonna sit here with my abundance at tight end and watch you drown at the position.
It's okay. I don't expect you to be charitable, son, when you have somebody chasing those 4 babies that you have sitting behind you.
Yeah, keep chasing, man. I wanted to shout out your kicker slot, man. Brandon Aubrey. Making a case for best kicker in the game, 4 field goals, including a 64-yarder, 23 total points. I think they said that all the Cowboys have to do is get 25 yards of offense, and they'll be in his field goal range. And 25 yards of offense is equal to the worst offense in the NFL. On the flip side, man, it's got a few points on the bench. Devontae Adams, we talked about, 12 targets, 106 yards. He's looking like 1B to Puka. But him and Quentin Johnson at the time that we went on air, 34.5 points on the bench. He could have used that. His starters that he started over Adams and Johnson, Marvin Harrison and Cortland Sutton combined for 3.5 points.
Yeah, Quan, what was the pregame meeting like with you and Oops when you guys went over the roster selections? How did you get him to leave Devontae Adams on the bench? What's the insight there?
Oh, please. I can only give you speculation. Court Sutton last week put up 16, 17 points, and Devontae Adams didn't even crack the double digits. So I could see why he started Sutton. Other than that, the Marvin Harrison had a great game last week too. So,
well, that's the thing, man. Fantasy, you got to play for the future week, not for what happened last week. And speaking of future weeks, how do you explain dropping Juwan Jennings right before kickoff? I think he balled out with Mac Jones as his quarterback. I mean, you have Caleb Williams that could have been dropped. You have – well, he got stuck. Eckler was already on the bench. He got locked in. He had the early game. I guess Ollie Gordon's on contract. So I guess it came down to Caleb Williams, Quentin Johnson, Juwan Jennings. I don't know. I feel like that Jennings could go high on waivers, and he just lost a potential, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 that could have helped him this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. That's crazy.
I wasn't the only Johnson that got dropped right before draft. I think
that's gonna, like I said, there's gonna be some NJC on NJC's top 3.
Weeped about his tight end situation. Dropped Juwan Johnson, who was the most targeted tight end last week, week 1. He picked him up off waivers. I was actually looking at him and hoping that he'd be available for after waivers, but NJC grabbed him. Then he dropped him. Then I was like, all right, well, maybe no one to pick him up off waivers, and I can possibly drop Geno for him.
And guess who got him?
I didn't want to burn my waiver spot, which has worked out now because I need that waiver spot now. But I wouldn't have wanted to burn my waiver spot, especially when on a St. Louis on a Saints tight end. And then he's looking like he's hyper target, like he's pretty much the wide receiver 1 with that team. So yeah.
Before we move on from that,
tough one, BC.
I guess we'll hear more about it than JC's top 3. Before we move on from this game, though, so Oops's roster, his decisions this week are kind of like the convergence of these 2 philosophies that I just heard on this podcast about fantasy football. Always start your studs versus can't play for last week. And that's that delicate decision balance right there. That looks like I'm holding a pair of nuts right there. Sorry about that, guys. That's crazy. And
at least you're holding your own nuts this week, Nick, not like last week.
I would argue that Devontae Adams is more of a stud than Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of his keepers. He's one of his keepers. I mean, he should be a lock in his lineup. But
yeah.
Then again, Cortland Sutton, when he drafted him, the 3rd round? Cortland Sutton is. I mean, it's kind of high.
Let's just say if
he's number 1, Devontae Adams is sort of
if Devontae Adams was in over Marvin Harrison, it'd be a much scarier. I wouldn't even be talking on the podcast right now.
Yeah,
and the Chargers have the ball right now, I'd be quiet as hell.
And Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson. I mean, who's going to start Quentin Johnson?
I mean, it's still going to appear in the top. It's still going to appear in the top 3, but
here's the thing, though. Like, I guess I don't know. I mean, you pick somebody up off of waivers. You keep someone. You think, well, this is I'm taking them off a waiver for this week. I'm keeping them because I believe in them to play every week, kind of thing. So that was just where the questions came from.
But to talk about what you mentioned, Nick, that's what went into me. Justin Fields had this 30-point game week 1. Now he's going up against the Bills, who let Lamar go crazy. Everyone had Justin Fields as the start of the week, and you throw him in there, and that's where I leaned into it, and I fell for the trap. I said, like, Mahomes going up against Eagles. He doesn't have Worthy. He doesn't have Rice. And had I just stuck with my stud, the quarterback I drafted to be my starting quarterback, I get another high score this week.
That may or may not end up on the top 3 as well.
All right. Shit, man. I love this fucking foreshadowing you're giving us. Yeah, that's a crazy thing, Len. So you said earlier, don't play for last week, but you yourself played for last week. And hey, sometimes it's crazy.
Well, I also play. It was a combo. They both scored 30 last week, and I looked at the matchups this week, and I thought one matchup looked better, but Clearly it didn't work out in my favor.
You were looking for that double up. You wanted that stack.
I want a good stack.
Wanted a good stack.
That's stack. Hey, let's we got 2 more games to cover, then we can jump into the top 3 that you've been teasing literally every game we bring up. You're like, that's in the top 3. How can you have a top 3 for every game? We've covered like 5 games, man. That's
because
crazy.
65% of the time it works every time.
That's a fucking great movie, man. Good pull. Rudy and the Sugandis. Sugandis might have been onto something. Well, we all listen to the podcast. We're the only podcast listeners out there. Shout out to us. Last week, Sugandi said something about vying for the name change #1 pick. And, things can change week to week, but it's not looking great. And JJ McCarthy, what a start right there. What a bold start over Bo Nix. Can we get some reverse Bo Nix hate on this one, man? Come on. Let him have it.
If Justin Fields made the top 3, then the McCarthy over Bo Nix needs to make the top 3. But yeah, another butterfly effect player, man. Jaylen Warren, 67% of the snaps on third downs, 70% of the running back carries. He's turning into a potential 3 down back for the Steelers for Sugan. But yeah, he was right, man. Rough day with almost single digits for everybody. Who's is that? Oh, Hunter Henry, half a point. If you don't have a tight end, man, it's slim pickings when you're on the other end of it.
But he does have a tight end. He has one on the bench. And what I thought
I've had that tight end. He's
it's not so tight.
I mean,
Rudy, man. When was the last time Rudy was 2-0? Props to Rudy, man.
Rudy's
actually
echo that. Props to freaking Rudy.
Props to Rudy, but I think we have it documented. First season we did the podcast, all audio podcast. I think Rudy was like undefeated first 4 weeks or something like that. He was pretty hot that season. So 2 seasons ago, but shout out to you, Rudy. Well done there, 2-0. Keep that train rolling. Let's get into the final.
Well, the train rolls into the Quan station next week, so enjoy that for at least a week.
Anything can happen on any given Sunday. All right, guys. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. Thank you. That's full circle moment right there. I got you earlier with that. Last matchup, the Vussy and the Curse. Oh man. Vussy active on the waivers, just drop in, adding,
and just missing. Like it's.
Did he pick up the wrong ATN this week?
I think you alluded to something.
I had to be. That made no sense.
You know what, NJC? Great win, Curse. NJC, take us into the top 3.
Wait. Hold on real quick. Sorry. I just want to point out Vussy, man, 97 points last week, 95 this week. Ran into damn near the high score both weeks. So tough break. He's got Jared Goff, Ramondre Stevenson, Jamison Williams all on the bench with a combined 83.5 points.
That may or may not end up in top 3.
That could have helped you. Curse got a huge game out of Jamar Chase, just under the top scoring receivers, Amon-Ra and Malik Neighbors. 16 targets, 14 catches, 165 yards, a touchdown. 10 of those receptions came after Joe Burrow was knocked out. So, there's a chance that Jake Browning maybe can keep him going. We'll see. Good game, Curse.
Yeah, that was a great game. One last thing before we pop off to the top 3 was Ramondre Stevenson. This is one of those things. He picked him up off a waiver right before the game. But why? Why? For what? Like to just pick him up so nobody else can get him? I mean, I don't
absolutely know. He hoards. He's a hoarder. Whore.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
NJC's top 3. All right. Froggy coming in at number 3. Frogs benching 23-point Mahomes for 3-point Fields goal. That's number 3. Number 2, NJC burning multiple waivers just to keep a strange 2.5 points and drop Joanna put up 13.5 instead on Curse's roster. That comes in number 2. And number 1, I didn't want to be a Tokyo Titty Boy in AGS anymore for leaving 83.5 points on his bench. And now starting off with a 0.0-2 record, heading back towards Uchi Gucci Vusi status.
Hey, can I add a one to the top 3, and that would be the performance by Bud Crawford this weekend. One of cementing himself as one of the maybe the GOAT boxer of our generation, undefeated. Really put a clinic on Canelo, man. Gained 21 pounds to move up to fight him. I got it was interesting seeing I had one friend, he does my kids' 529 savings plans, and we follow each other on Instagram, and he got the fitted hat with the initials, went up there in the full mariachi garb to Vegas to see the fight, and all the excitement, man, the tequila, the beer, the road trip with the boys, the great seats. And then they came crashing down with the loss to Crawford at the end of the night.
I mean, at least they had a good time until the truth came out. I mean,
now there's
Crawford dissected that dude.
He did. It looked amazing. And then there's after the aftermath, after the fight, I heard some whispers today, people at my place of work and out in the field talking about how Canelo just took his foot off the gas. I don't think so. That man got a clinic put on him. And that was a fantastic fight. What do you guys think about? I like these free fights, man. I mean, I know that the Tyson one wasn't all
and it
that,
was a good fight.
I think they said most watched fight of all time because it was free. I think it was like 43 million people watched it,
and they still got paid. We didn't pay nothing, and they still got paid.
They also had a good undercard too, man.
They had several.
Were good.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in for it, man. The days of paying $100 to see a fight, I think it's over, man. If Netflix is doing this, then Apple's going to be next. Then everybody's going to jump on board.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's how you bring boxing back. That's how you do it. You just put it in people's homes. Don't overcharge us for some shit that usually isn't worth the money. And then put together these great fights, man. That's excellent.
Those are the fights we're looking for. That's what hurts boxing is they took them too long to make this fight. I'm happy they actually made it, but we need more of those, man. We need the best fighting the best. Because UFC's kind of taking over, and I'm a boxing guy. I want to see more good fights.
Coop, I think that a lot of boxers are taking the Brian Thomas Jr. route and trying to just protect their careers, man. Not taking the big fights because they just want to keep that money.
Yeah, there was a lot of shade thrown at Trevor Lawrence and offensive coordinators for not drawing up enough plays for Brian Thomas Jr. We saw the video footage. I'm going to edit in to the podcast at this point in time. So you'll see it right here. It looked like he was making some business decisions there. He had the ball. He was like, rather not.
No.
How does that make you feel when you think about rostering a guy isn't going to lay out for the Quan, man?
Man, sorry, man, I'm going back and forth because my high score.
Yeah, you're about to lose this high score. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's coming down, man. It's coming down.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, BTJ, the Bayou burner. Don't believe me. He'll turn this around. I'm not worried. But if he does, I mean, there is a spry young receiver in Baltimore who's been itching to get into the starting lineup. So
itching.
Waiting for his chance. 2 years in a row, he's been sitting on the bench waiting for his time.
I just have one question.
Yes. Interception.
Are we gonna hear from? Are we gonna hear from Bobby Boucher, aka the Boosie viscosity vampire, before the season of podcasting is over? I have to hear that again.
Hey, we play again in week 12, man. So I'm
Expected.
ready. I'm ready to bathe in the Bussy waters again. And all three of you also get a little taste. So hopefully you experience the same wetness that I did.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I think I got him coming up week 5, maybe. Oh no, I'm down there week 6. Let's look ahead to next week, actually, since we're already there. I got my schedule up right now. I'm looking at Oops Upside Your Head. I don't know which way this one was going to go. I was like a 25-point underdog in my last matchup, and if things play out this week or the way they did this week, then maybe I'm 2-1 before I match up with Senor Frogs over there. That one's looking kind of not good, but I'm feeling hopeful, man. I'm excited. I know he's got a good team, but maybe we can make some magic work. Quan, welcome back. Freshened up. You've got Rudy's replacements. We already talked about this. Sorry, I was going to say, my guy's on life support. Do you want to take it easy on him this week? But I'm going to edit that part out because that wasn't that funny. I'm sorry. It made me laugh. It was funnier in my head. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? No games are well. You know what? It's going to be a tough one. He's got a good squad that can put up some points, but we'll see, man. We'll see. You know, I'm limping into this game, so we'll see how it goes.
Who's the quarterback you most desire as you enter the waiver wire?
Why do y'all ask me about my waiver wire thoughts every?
Because I mean, I don't know what the order is. I'll check it out right now. But
we're all set.
Yeah,
quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You're the only one who needs one, and this won't come out before waivers.
Yeah, you're the number 4 right here. You got number 4. I'm not taking a quarterback this week if I take anyone. So
you're gonna use your waiver though?
I might, man. I'm hoping. What I'm really hoping for is for a starting running back to get hurt and just quickly get that handcuff. But
you got to think it's just think about it. Joe's 0-2, right? He's got the number 1. Who has the number 1 waiver? Rudy does, right?
Rudy does. Yeah, I'm number 2. I'm number 2. So we'll see.
Neither one. And who's number 3?
And then Pimps is number 3. He's good. He's set.
Yeah.
So you don't got to worry about it. So
guys are taking quarterbacks, but
nobody is. So come on, give us a little bit of insight here, man. Who's the juicy Quan?
Just think about who you guys would take. Who would you guys take? You know, and
let's see who's available real quick because I don't know.
all right, we're gonna do this.
I wouldn't take Tua. That's for sure. Daniel Jones is up there, man. Stafford's up there, like you said. Mac Jones is up there. What do the matchups look like? I would look at the matchups first. I know, like you would too. So, you got the Rams. Shit, Colts and the Rams.
You already said who he's taking. You've already named it. You know who he's taking. He loves the white boys. He likes the ones that air it out. I know where you're going, Lou.
I've never been successful with the black quarterback.
I know where you're going, Lou.
Well, exactly Russell's a white quarterback in black skin, and he's throwing the hell out of the ball, man. I mean, that help you. I think he wears all birds too.
Every time I've picked one up and started them, it's just I don't know what it is, but that's never worked out for me. I've even
you don't believe in him, Lou.
I've had my Justin Fields days too at one point. So
yeah,
well,
does Dangerous have a good matchup next week? Dangerous is
I don't think
Kansas City. They got Kansas City.
The quarterback that I'm eyeing, I don't think you guys. I don't know, may not be on your guys' radar.
Negro, please.
I'm looking for somebody to sustain me for the season. You know.
Well, you need one to sustain you for the season. What would a loss to Rudy next week do to the aura of the Quan?
You know what? We're going to have some losses, but we're going to have some wins too. So, a loss will be all losses hurt, but I'm still confident we can make it into the playoffs, and I don't think any of you guys want to see me in the playoffs,
regardless,
no quarterback or not.
Wow,
I've seen you a couple times.
Yeah, and you've been a real humble opponent prior to those games, so it's not without.
I'm not
nerves.
being cocky right now. I'm just saying.
Not without nerves.
Yeah, I don't think you have a proven playoff record that would scare anyone.
What?
Shit.
What?
Here we
I
go.
mean, you only have one
I
trophy.
don't have a proven. I haven't won in the championship, but
Yeah, that's the ultimate win in the postseason.
I rolled through the playoffs for the last 5 years. I've made it to the championship the last 3 years in a row.
Hush, boys, hush. The triplets start getting loud after a while.
The playoffs have been. I've owned the playoffs. I've owned the regular season.
The Super Bowl's part of the playoffs, right?
That the one.
It's the ultimate playoff. It could be argued.
Wow.
The biggest game in the playoff is
Okay.
where you've had the most trouble.
Yeah, but to say that I have not a worthy opponent in the playoffs is a far stretch. I've taken out many good teams in the playoffs. Joe has. I've robbed Joe of making it back to the championship almost every year.
Jesus.
T. Ruth, all those top teams have not made it through the Quan. So the only ones
The Buffalo Bills took out a lot of teams in the playoffs too.
they also never won a championship either.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were a great playoff team until it really mattered.
All right. So it's good. I'm glad you got a good team and you're back. Because it's been it's good to see the confidence coming back. Because
Hey, I got the trophies, I got the confidence, and I have a quarterback that has all his toes.
yeah, woo, keep woo, karma will get you. Be careful with that.
Hey, I don't care about that, man. I will talk shit losing, I'll talk shit winning. I got the trophies to back it up. I got the 10 toes to back it up.
How vulnerable have you been lately?
Hang on. We'll just roll right into this. Frogs has a curse next week, so this is a great playoff matchup opportunity here. How you feeling about that matchup, sir? You got all excited, 10 toes on all your players, so
I'm excited. Big matchup, man. Me and Curse have a long-time rivalry that goes beyond AGS. It goes to his league that he's the commissioner of, that I was a member of. It goes back to our Monopoly games in El Cerrito. So it's always a good matchup when I go up against the Curse. And it'll be a good test for both teams to see where we're at.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. This is getting heated. I love it. As soon as you mention the Buffalo Bills, Quan gets real angry about that. But Quan, we know you've had the team. You've just steamrolled us. We're all just making that lip sweat a little bit more is all we want to see. NJC, you've got the counselor formerly known as T. Ruth. This isn't the same team as it's been in previous years, but he also has a knack for kind of turning it on second half of the season. How you feeling about coming out of the division? You're feeling like 2-1? I mean 3-0, I mean?
I'm gonna take the same approach I take every week. I'm never gonna go into the match cocky. Like you said, he lives and dies by Derrick Henry, so it all depends on kind of what happens, with him. I've got problems of my own that I need to worry about. So I'm not counting any week as a win until it happens. So I know he's gonna put his best roster forward. I'm gonna do mine, but I've got homework. I've got things I need to do. I got trades I need to try to make because this team is not teaming the way I think I wanted to team right now. So we'll see.
Will the son be spanking the father this week?
I don't think there's going to be any spanking involved. I think the S&M will be a delayed gratification. I think he's going to be shitting bricks, and I think I'm going to be trying to figure out what the hell I need to be doing towards the second half of the season. So we'll see.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a top-heavy win for you there, right? NJC, when we were going over your game, I was looking at the roster, and it was like 3 dudes, and that was pretty much it, which doesn't matter week to week as long as you get the win. But I see what you're saying.
I hear you, man, but my philosophy, you can go back in the annals of our podcast content, and I'm a consistency over concentration any day of the week. I aim for double digits in every position that's where I feel like the wins are, but to live and die by 2 or 3 positions is not a wise strategy. So I'm grateful again for the win, but I rather consistency across the board than just, that I don't like that.
That's the truest of all fantasy football rules and laws. Consistency above all else. Guys, I don't know if we have anything else non-football related that you want to.
Well, I do want to say
Actually-
there's two games coming up that might be contenders for an early toilet bowl. Sugan versus who's coming in second, and I didn't want to be a groomsman anyway versus Penthouse Pimp. So 2 early toilet bowl games for us in week 3.
Well, the good news is that somebody's going to get a win out of all that doo-doo. 2 teams.
That's true. That's
Actually,
true.
I do want to shout out something, man. I want to shout out my son. I know Coop had the tadpoles on earlier, and I'm not trying to jump on the coattails, but I want to shout out Jax for knocking out 100%, 40 out of 40 on his math test, bringing his grade up to an A in algebra. We had a rocky start to the school season, and he's gotten it. He's starting to fire on all cylinders. So it's probably going to be about 10 years before he hears this. But I just want to shoot him some congratulations for knocking it out and focusing and studying hard for his math test. So love you, kiddo.
Well done, sir. Academics. I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, man. And we had this philosophy in high school. You start out with some C's and then you finish with the A's, and that's the memories that the teachers remind you with. You leave them with that finish, that hard finish. Oh God, pause on that. That sounded gay as fuck.
It did sound real.
Leave them with that hard finish. Hey, come on, man. The guy's not even in the shot anymore. Get out of here.
That live Omarion Hampton fumble has now lowered his total output today to 0.5 points.
I'm not going to say much, but remember what I said in the pod. I think Omarion Hampton is not who people think he is.
Yeah, he's not looking explosive at all, man. He's not looking for a running back running behind that good of an offensive line.
And I don't think he's on a team that's going to exploit what he has, his talents versus. But now Genty's different. Did you see Genty truck?
Yeah.
The secretary of the game, he trucked that dude.
As years go by, Genty's just going to get better and better. I mean, Bijan had a rough rookie season, but you just saw it. You saw it.
You could see what was to come.
Yeah.
And same with Genty, you can see what's to come. Omarion, I don't know if it's the first name. I don't know if it's the lightning bolt on the helmet, but he's got to improve something.
Running back, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing.
Right. In that vein, I liked what I saw out of Quinshon Judkins in his first gameplay this week. I think he had about 9 points on limited carries, and there seems to be a little bit of explosiveness there. So I'm excited to see what he has in store for the rest of the season.
Agreed. Yeah, and that was he was just scared to get hit kind of fumble, Omarion. I don't like that in a running back, especially for a third round. Was that a third pick?
Number 3 overall. Let's not talk about these first round rookie running back picks, though.
Just shit for fodder. Sorry to cut you off, Nick. I love you.
No, it's fine.
Before
man.
you wrap, shit for fodder.
I hope. Okay, go ahead. I was just gonna say I hope Mayo Beast is Mayo Beast. That'll at least take the sting away.
It's looking like Mayo Beast, bro. Actually, the funny thing is I didn't jump in the jokes on Scatterbo because I was actually looking at him, man. I think he actually got a nice little steal in the draft. So we'll see by the end of the season. But you know what?
R.I.P. Austin Eckler's football career. That was a tough one to watch.
Is that it? He that's it, right? He tore the Achilles, right?
The season's over.
That's it.
He's older.
He's older. He was a great running back there. I'm glad I got him for his peak years there. Sad to see it go out like that, though. That sucks.
Yeah, he's got his dancing TikTok wife to look forward to for the rest of his life. So
no, he'll be a broadcaster. He padded his career years ago when he was selling at the Chargers. He knew what he was doing.
I think he's going to become a pretty prominent fantasy football broadcaster because he's heavy in doing
absolutely
appearances on those podcasts and a lot of the major fantasy football platforms. So I see him jumping into that for sure.
It was interesting. Oops must have contacted me at least 3 times trying to get Eckler off of his roster. He didn't understand that, he's locked in for this week because his game was played. I know he's injured now, but he actually scored 2 fantasy points, and he was like, well, just put him in my IR. I was like, it's not how it works, Oops. So,
Oops.
Unfortunately.
You know,
Sorry,
it's
buddy.
for his life.
So yeah, man. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I think that all of us, with the Frogs excluded, are just trying to stack as many wins as we can while we can, and hope that it foots to a playoff berth. But the waters are muddy, man, and it's going to be a dogfight. So we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Exciting shit. Fellas, is that a wrap for us this week? Are we wrapping it this week? Oh my goodness. Well, that is us on week 2, the AGS podcast. Hope you all have a wonderful fantasy football week. And thanks for jumping on the podcast again to co-host here, Quan, Frogs, and JC. We'll catch you all next week.
Peace. And then the looming hole.